Okay then, Helldivers, we are back, and after 2 weeks off, I was a little bit wilded out to come back to the Helldivers 2 community to see what it is that's going on, to find out about a D10 challenge that's being sent towards the development team that seems to have ended in somebody losing their job, their personal details being doxed, and a shed ton of offensive messages getting flooded around Reddit, ending by a moderation team making solid mistakes left, right, and center, and now apparently trying to start amending rules on knee-jerk comments. We've got to take a look at everything, and I'm going to give you guys the best breakdown I possibly can. We're obviously a little bit fresh after this because I cannot believe what I'm reading. It's actually disgusting. We're going to give you guys our 2 cents. If you haven't already, smash the beautiful like button and subscribe, post notifications turned on. It'd be greatly appreciated. Make sure you check out our incredible sponsor, Instant Gaming, the platform where you can get your video games cheaper for PC and console with the best deals, offers, promotions, and discounts, all running up to 70% off on old and new games alike via the description below. And we're also going to give away super credits here, as we always do. If you want to get involved with it, it is very simple. Put some eyes in the comment section, because I think that somebody really needs to be watching what the hell is going on here. We're going to announce that one very soon, so stay tuned to the channel as we're back inside of Helldivers 2. So, just to give you guys a very quick and interactive catch-up on what the word is going on, there was a serious offer that was sent towards the development team from a Mr. Redacted, as Lieutenant Buzz Lightbeer has been calling him, that he will donate $1,000 to a charity of Arrowheads, choosing if they can upload a video of 4 of their development team members being able to do an entire operation on Oshayune on difficulty 10 and completing all objectives on all 3 missions on the current MO. No modifications, no funny business. Play all of the current state of the game, show us how it can be done and how well the game's balance is, which we obviously know there is a lot inside of that, and there is pretty much impossible to see where it is that the game is going as of right now, and people enhanced it and moved forward with another person right here, we'll call this Mr. A Redacted, who was pushing the narrative a little bit further. This one so much so that it had specific people inside of it that were actually told what to utilize. So you can see a full loadout for Nicholas, B Vitamin, Shams, and Alexis, and they were the people that they wanted to do the challenge with the enhancements involved. Now, this got well out of control, and the original post of Mr. Redacted for the Oshayune one actually managed to just have his whole world flipped upside down over something which was essentially trying to drill money for charity. It didn't even matter if they would essentially complete all of this. He was still going to donate it, as he regularly donates to charity anyway. It was just going to go towards a charity of Arrowhead's choosing. But where this leads to next is where it starts to confuse me and blow my mind, as people then start leaving messages and conversation starters all over Reddit stating that bullying under the guise of charity is still bullying, and I am ashamed of this community for it. This was wild to me because I don't really understand how it is that they've taken it to this degree. So much so that these messages then got just rabid, and they started to become a little bit more threatening and also completely awful, I may add. Some of the messages I read were absolutely horrendous, which led to the statement of him posting these up and stating that he's received dozens upon dozens of messages like this, and he first issued the challenge, and for his own well-being, he'll be stepping away from the Reddit and the community as a whole and stop trying to contact him. The challenge is officially over on his part. He cannot stand taking the barrage of hate. Now, that is a concerning message to see, just as an overall, knowing exactly the current climate of how it is that the world is right now, and could say that somebody could outright say, I really can't take the barrage of hate, is genuinely heartbreaking. And you'd think that that would have to be enough, although it actually wasn't. And from that point, it just absolutely erupted into a pointing which was probably the most concerning factor. His details then got doxed, and when I say details, I mean all details. Now, all of these details that ended up getting doxed meant that people were then harassing everything in his life. We saw this message that had apparently gone up as a copy and paste message that he's been sending to everybody that message him in good faith because he's not rude and doesn't want to not reply. But he has been banned from the horse sanctuary that he's been volunteering at since 2011 for security reasons, which is understandable. They are just trying to get by and they can't deal with this. And fired from a job that he had at an electrical company for over 7 years. His life basically got ruined overnight for something that I thought would be fun and productive towards a game I loved and supported passionately. I'm not really an internet person, and online presence is mostly for friends and family. I'll be stepping away from the community, Reddit, and the video game as a whole. I'm completely and undoubtedly done. Thanks for the support and kind words from everyone. See you all later. Now, apparently, there was quite a few people that managed to receive this. So obviously, there is no indirect source to that one to show that that actually is him. But apparently, there's been a lot of people that have sent that message to, and a lot of people have received it. Now, as to whether that is the case, obviously, we have no idea. But Arrowhead came in and made an official statement, which would kind of lead to the idea that this may well have actually been the case. Arrowhead stated that an important message is now going out to their players, that they do not tolerate the threats of violence, harassment, and doxing towards anyone, players, creators, developers, moderators, or their team in any community spaces. While we do understand that the Helldivers Reddit page is a community-owned and operated channel, which we'll get into that in just a moment, it should be a safe and welcoming place for all people to voice their opinions and frustrations in a productive and respectful way. This kind of toxic behavior is unacceptable and not something that we condone. They go on to say that they'll be monitoring and reviewing this situation internally and with our external partners, but in the meantime, we are asking that our players practice kindness and respect towards one another. Now, hopefully they actually come to a conclusion on the back end of this and something genuinely happens, because a guy has lost his job and lost his commitments towards volunteering at a horse sanctuary. Like, how is that even possible? Allegedly, what was said was that he was threatening game developers, and that was the message that was put towards the job company that he worked in and also the horse sanctuary that he volunteered at. This guy's job, life, and everything around it pretty much just got flip reversed. Even his wife's email address managed to get taken into. Now, as it stands, there is absolutely nothing else on the box. We have got to go into the Reddit a bit further, as that was where the moderation team from Reddit actually kind of went in and then made so many mistakes off the back end of it, which is where everything goes south. As for Mr. Redacted, he's pretty much gone off grid now, or at least as far as I'm concerned. I really hope that he would come up with something so that we as a community could at least help give back to him, and hopefully Arrowhead and Sony, third parties and forward, will help this man win the situation that he's been put in, because realistically this has got to be some sort of legal comeuppance that can happen here, because it's wild to think it's even a thing. But let's take it into the moderation team of the Reddit, where everything then starts to get a little bit ship-shapey. They then post up certain announcements inside of the Helldivers 2 official Reddit page. Yes, this place is absolutely wild. Apparently completely outsourced by the community, although it has got some sort of input from the Arrowhead team, but we'll get into that in just a moment. But they issue out a statement of what it is that's going to happen moving forward, as they don't want brigading, and our moderation is now going to be getting a bit stricter. For those of you guys who don't know what brigading is, it's essentially taking things from one Reddit page to another Reddit page just to cause hate and essentially purging through the internet. That's what we'll label it as. But just to put this into an overall contextual point, the situation is clearly not the fault of the original user, which is by no means a obvious statement. So obviously don't go out of the way to contact him. He doesn't really want anyone contacting him anyway. I think that he's actually in a position now where he just wants done with this completely. They do not want under any circumstances blame anyone and continue the harassment. If you have proof of doxing and harassment of any kind in the private channels, let us know. If you can see people insulting or harassing others in our subreddit, it is very important that you report it so you can actually see it and respond as quickly as possible. And then we get the big kicker. You are free to donate to charity at any time. However, challenges directed toward individuals at Arrowhead or individuals in general are no longer allowed in this subreddit. We may as well have just said that these people who managed to send the doxing, send the hate, cause the carnage, cause the hassle, they have now officially won, and everything that they wanted from it is now essentially positive. Continuing to post about the topic is not allowed, and the primary focus of the subreddit is the Helldivers franchise. As per our rules, the subreddit will continue to be dedicated to the game and all conversations related to the game. We will continue to enforce the rules and create a safe space for those who wish to discuss the game. And essentially, then after that, made it a bit of a toxic positivity placement, where anything that was of a negative standing was then going to essentially be taken down, as we can't have any hate towards that area-ing. This is where obviously I then start to get my back up, because realistically you are essentially just giving these glazers, these areas of pure toxicity, hatred, and just complete vermin a space to bloody breed. Not only that, but it is classified as the Helldivers 2 official Reddit. The official Helldivers 2 Reddit, although it may well be run by the community in tow, it is not solely on the community to be able to be a part of that. A Reddit post right here that went up over on the Helldivers Unfiltered subreddit then pretty much had a big collaboration behind it, as apparently the official Reddit page decided to go out and give them a load of credentials to essentially help them diffuse the situation, if you will, as they've now received some major clarification from the main sub mods about some recent posts and misinformation on the sub. Apparently the mods on the main sub are not Arrowhead developers, although Baskinator and the Arrowhead account do not have any mod powers whatsoever. They are issued a part of the mod team. Apparently they are absolutely nothing to do with anything in terms of moderation, so banning accounts or anything like that, and all of the ban waves and hammering downs that has been happening over the last few days had nothing to do with anyone from Arrowhead. There is a very, very long-winded part of it. It just goes on for ages. I'll leave the link down in the description for you guys to go and read it. But essentially, trying to clear Arrowhead of what's happening, but essentially just burying the people inside of the mod team. From this point, as of 45 minutes ago, apparently they've made an amendment on their previous mod statement regarding the ban of challenges. This was the big kicker, as I cannot actually believe how much this moderation team just needs to just be put through its paces. I'm going to give you my opinion in a moment, so just bear with me on that one, because we all know that I just will not filter that for nothing. It states right here, "Hi, trying to keep this short. In our previous statement of the original post, we issued a ban for all future challenges directed at Arrowhead or other players," and they quoted the actual challenge itself. They went on to state right here that we quickly got a lot of valid criticism about the point in particular. By banning these kinds of submissions, we're giving some of the worst elements of this community what they wanted. That was a knee-jerk decision, and it could have been handled with more care. So we're changing the rule one more time. Challenge-like posts, especially those involving money, like the Oshayune D10 challenge, will be allowed, but must first be approved by moderation. This can be done by contacting us via modmail with your proposal. Challenges must be done in good faith. Challenges can't be issued to any random user you have beef with. Keep it civil. In the case money is involved, we will need proof that you can fulfill your end of the bargain, and proof of payment will also be needed. Any money offered in these challenges must go to charity. It cannot be offered to Arrowhead or to other users, and we will try to ensure the wording of your challenge cannot be misunderstood. Now, I have just got a statement and a half to put against that, but they go on to state, first of all, a few things to keep in mind. Challenging Arrowhead is something that doesn't guarantee they will participate. Challenging individuals will require the consent of the person being challenged, and adding your own twist onto another person's approved challenge is not allowed. Basically, if your challenge has been approved and any modifications to it will be considered a brand new challenge and the submit approval. The goal of these guidelines is for us to be able to provide better support in case of the worst happens. Now, this is where my issues come in, because as of this point right now, this is probably one of the most exciting times I think that I have seen the Helldivers 2 community really ever go through. We have seen a lot of highs, a lot of lows, but this, for me, has been a whole new low. This moderation team on side of the Helldivers 2 official quote-unquote Reddit page needs to have some sort of perjury in it. And what I mean by that is, for a game that is Sony PlayStation's biggest and fastest growing title to date, this needed to have an official running of the subreddit. You're not dealing with a tiny game here. You're dealing with 20 million copies sold and people that are going to be coming in by the trough load. There are so many people that have been revolved around this game over the last couple of years that to put those down to the community and expect them to be able to do things correctly, they were just completely ill-equipped for this. And the panic mode sets in as ban hammers started going in everywhere. Arrowhead need to take control of the official subreddit, and at worst, have it taken down if it's not actually something that they can do, and have their own one set up as an official Helldivers Reddit so that they can actually take accountability for their own movement and have full corporated companies behind it that can actually deal with these situations. This mod team was not ready for what actually came in, and they were not ready for the absolute trough loads of people that came in with hate, bombardments, and what inevitably ended in doxing and completely handled the wrong way by the moderation team. What I do also think should happen, and as a extended point, if you will, and if you want to see it this way, then feel free to. If you disagree with me, feel free to hit me in the comment section. But as a big middle finger and a giant FU to the haters, to the doxers, to the people that have been essentially giving this man an unwarranted amount of hate, I do believe that the challenge should be honored. I think that Arrowhead should go ahead and do that challenge, upload that video, and instead of having Mr. Redacted sort that money out for the charity, I believe that Arrowhead should then go ahead and do that as well. Not because they owe it to Mr. Redacted to continue through it, but because realistically there should be some sort of comeuppance to show that they cannot win, especially in this climate of doing what they think that they are doing correctly. I'm disgusted. I'm ashamed. I've been away for 2 weeks. I come back and this was not exactly what I thought I was going to see. I genuinely cannot believe how I've actually got through today. To make this a little bit more personal, but I've actually just recently had a friend of mine take his own life, and I've had to attend funerals and carry him on his final journey down to a crematorium, and now we're treating people like this. And they wonder why people are doing the things that they're doing. It's upsetting, man. It's upsetting. It's concerning. And it's wild to think that another human being's on the other end of the keyboard actually doing that to somebody else. That's all you're going to get from me today. Thanks again for watching. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you on the clouds.